It's Alysia, Nora, and Macy on our little green couch.
Ready to talk weekly gossip from behind the chair.
Have a drink or 10 and get ready for the journey.
Join us on the floor with Little Fern.
Welcome to On the Floor with Little Fern.
Come on in. Grab a drink.
Take a load off.
Hang your jacket up. Get ready. So we got some gossip for you this week.
I'm drinking a nice bevy.
Ooh.
We got some Nooners, and Alysia really did it today. She did it, guys.
I delivered to the salon beverages, and I got the new High Noon, what was it called? Snowden pack, and it had the new flavors, and they are plum, raspberry, and lemon. And then there was a few other regular flavors. Peach. I have plum. Nora has raspberry, and Macy has lemon.
And it's delicious.
Delicious.
I'd say not a full 5 out of 5, but a definite, for the pack, a 4 out of 5. I would drink all of the flavors.
So are you saying that this is like a recently released pack?
Yes.
Okay, because I didn't know ever that lemon Nooners existed, and very recently, like within the past week, I discovered them and I was like, these are delicious. Why did I never know about these? So clearly that makes sense why it's just a hot thing now, but
They are in other packs. The lemon has been out for a little while, so has the peach.
The peach has, the newest in this one is the plum and the raspberry, but the lemon was harder to come by.
It was also in a seasonal pack every time.
Yeah. That's always that's how they get you. That's how they get you. It's never, you can't build your own pack. You got to get them in these limited released packs, the tailgate pack, the summer pack, this is the pool party
100%.
pack, the snowed in pack. That's my only gripe with High Noon because I drink a lot of High Noon. I like a lot of the flavors, but I don't love all of them. Guava, go fuck yourself. I have really strong feelings.
I absolutely despise watermelon.
First of all, you can see yourself out for that comment. See yourself out.
It's too flavorful.
Pineapple.
No one wants
I was at the
pineapple.
hunt and gather market. I said, does anybody I was trying to be cute with my normal banter that I try to do with people to ease my anxiety. And I said, does anybody even like pineapple? And they said, actually, it's one of our top sellers. And I said, here goes my anxiety.
To find out, it's actually their top seller. It's disgusting. Who fucking wants that? It's gross.
Pineapple is one that I did have recently, and it's good, but it's a little too flavorful, and it kind of tastes like puke in a can.
It's gross.
Yes,
It is not,
tastes like a warm High Noon that's been sitting out. That was once cool.
not that anyone cares, but I can give you my top 3.
Okay, give it to us. She's ready. She's got her fingers in 3 right now.
Do you like it? I'm ready.
First one is gonna be peach.
Which one did you say?
For Alysia.
I said the first one or second will be peach.
How well does Nora know Alysia?
Yes. Peach, naturally. I love everything and anything peach.
Watermelon might be on the list because that's another flavor of hers.
It is. So hence the reason why I'm very upset with Macy right now because watermelon. And then I'm going to throw you guys for a loop. Lime.
Lime is good.
Because you know what? Those mixed together, watermelon and lime.
Fire. Watermelon and lime. And if you add a lime to the lime, game changer. A little bit of salt, fire.
Lime was my favorite White Claw, so I respect the hustle when it comes to being on your top 3. And I've had it as a noon before, but I think I've only had 1 or 2.
They're so good. The lime is probably the most drinkable one on many. If you're going to get buck and you're going to drink a lot of them, lime I feel is a flavor that you can have in a lot. Peach and watermelon gets a little repetitive after a while.
My argument for not liking watermelon is, first of all, I don't really like watermelon anything, even Jolly Ranchers and suckers and things like that. I'm not much of an artificial watermelon girly because obviously none of the flavors actually taste like the fruit. But I feel like watermelon is one of those flavors that they never even get near when it's artificial. So it literally just tastes like putrid.
We're going to need her to mute her mic on this conversation about the artificial flavors of the high noons.
First of all, it's juice. It's real juice.
Yes, it
Yes,
says real juice on
you
the
child.
can.
You child.
How are we going to get affiliated?
It don't taste like it. It tastes like Zooty. Zoozy.
Okay, White Claw drinker, go away.
I don't even drink White Claws anymore. They're pretty disgusting. I can't believe I drank them that long.
They are so gross. It's like hairspray. It was like hairspray with a flavor.
Yeah. For me, it was just more like anything sugary made me sick at the time. So White Claws were the thing that tasted like nothing the most, and I could get away with drinking like 8 of them and I'd be fine.
I have not been drinking as much until we start the podcast, and that's when I usually like have my drinks for the week. And like not even on the weekend sometimes. I've just been like holding off. And somehow I've been really getting into the lemony snickets on the weekends with my incidents that happen while I'm not even drinking.
I don't even know what Lemony Snickets is, guys.
Tell them, Alysia.
The series of unfortunate events.
Precisely. And it's been happening to me. I had just like a regular run-of-the-mill stub toe incident where I just jammed a foot in the wall.
I saw a video of this thing, guys. It's not just a little stub toe. Her toe is not like attached.
It's not. It still isn't. I know that they don't do anything for toes, so I'm not taking action. And I did get on the Google and just to confirm, and it did say like down the line it might become a problem, but still not enough for me to do anything about. But yeah, I was able to actually like, there's like a little bone nub and I folded over from the knuckle of the toe.
It was like nauseating to see. She sent us a video and it was like, it was kind of like, you know, when they do the videos and it has like the blacked out screen with like the warning sign for like don't watch.
You know, where like they like say like before watching that you have to agree to watch it and like see if you want to watch the like restricted content. Like it's one of these videos.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They would have had that for your toe.
But also, I think we need to clarify that her toe is like still physically attached. It's like the bone that's not attached. So like she literally sent us a full video of her like her toe is upright and then all of a sudden it's like at a 90-degree angle.
I would say 45-degree angle.
It was a 90-degree. That was a square.
You should have 100% attached it to another toe and taped it. That's one of those.
It's going very well. The bruising left within the first 3 days. She is resting very calmly.
I'm going to tell you, as somebody who gets hurt often, I feel like I can give advice. And the advice I have for you is you fucked up. You should have taped it to the other toe.
I would agree with you because I do agree with that you would have advice for this situation. However, I am trusting what I'm seeing, and the inflammation is inflaming just right to hold that toe right up again. It's actually like just kind of like smashed across the other way against the other toe.
If you guys could see my face right now, like I'm literally like I can't control my facial expressions. I'm disgusted.
What do they call that? Is that called like a bunion? No, what is that where it goes like the opposite where you get like that thing that like forms? I think it's a bunion.
A bunion is when you No, the bunion is when your bone is like it's like coming out. And so then you have to get bunion surgery.
It's like a bone spur. A bunion is. No, what you're talking about is like when they're like, line up your fingers and see which one is longer than the other one. Or if they cross.
Gotcha.
She's like
Yes,
rating your
yes.
knowledge.
I'm talking about when they like, yes. That's exactly what it is. I think you're dumber now because your toe's broken and now it's going to cross over.
I think Nora is the kind of person where it's like, oh, it'll just get better. And it's like, well, yeah, but maybe if you just like taped it, it would have gotten a lot better, you know?
I disagree with that. I think it's really on its journey. I think it's doing great. I only had one incident with it so far where I wore my shoes while I was working a wedding, and they were kind of like a little pointier, so it was making it sore. And now she's doing good. But after the toe, because everything was fine. So we just moved on from the toe, and then I started reorganizing all of Michelle's dressers and Willow's bedroom dressers and the closets, and kind of like just doing a little, monthly rearranging of furniture. And I was doing that, and then all of a sudden Jack started going into this it kind of looked like a seizure where his paws were going up over his head, and they were like, his head was but he was laying on the side of his body while this was happening, and the legs were back doing the same. I don't even know how to describe the position, but it was, I would say, like dolphin position, like a dolphin. But he was also throwing up at the same time. So, like, it's funny because I'm describing it like a dolphin, but it was also very terrifying because he was vomiting. And this happened a couple times. And as I'm in the middle of my project, I'm like, okay, I got to clean up, get stuff together. I got to go pick up Willow. Knowing that Jack was having these weird throwing up incidents, I was scurrying around as I do. And I was securing a wooden vase, like a wooden gate around the stairway, so that in case he had like a little seizure while I was gone, he wouldn't fall down the stairs, because he gets like paralyzed a little bit from his waist down. So as I was doing this, seconds passed by, and there was a brand new can of paint from Sherwin-Williams. God bless it. It was not 40% off.
My question was, had you just opened it previously?
It was not opened at all. Fresh from the store.
Then I don't think they did a secure enough job closing it.
Thank you for that.
I'm just going to tell you, I'm on your side. Continue on, though, because you need to paint the picture of what actually happened.
What Bill and I like to do is, when there's stuff that needs to go down the stairs, we just line it up right by the stairs, so that like when somebody goes down, they take it down, or up, there's up shit too. So this was getting ready to go down. It had come from the paint store a couple days before for our trim, and I was securing the gate, and I was kind of just like fluttering, and I accidentally knocked the can, and that's when it just launched down all of the stairs, all 16 stairs, and it bump, hit the fourth stair from the bottom, and then it just said, I'm done. And it actually like smashed the can a little bit on both sides on the journey down, which popped the lid off, and then the paint went spraying everywhere down the next 4 stairs onto the base of the carpet and into the rest of the basement. And I just stood there and I psychotically giggled for a second. It was white trim paint, and it went everywhere. The whole can just was glug, 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 like out onto the bottom of the carpet. And I just could only stand there and watch for a minute, because I was like having the seizure dog, and I have to go pick up my daughter, and I got to go find the shop vac, which ended up, I did immediately kick into action. And the shop vac was outside from our last incident when the basement toilet was erupting like a geyser. And Bill just decided to take the garbage can outside, spray it down with the hose, leave all of the water inside of the shop vac, leave it outside in the below zero weather. And it was half filled with ice from this incident. So I had to lug down this like 80-pound thing with my busted ass toe to suck up the spilled paint. I'm like, great. What's going to happen is I'm going to drop this on my toe and ruin it even more.
Thank God you guys have a shop vac.
We have 2.
So where was the second one?
At the other house.
They say bad things come in 3.
That was a whole week of lemony snickets, and we don't even need to talk about that.
And this is sounding like that scenario. That is a bummer. I would think I would have cried. Well, the thing is, I think the evil laugh after the paint falling is like, rightfully so. But then like for the double whammy, you go to get the shot back and it's frozen. I think I would have started crying.
It was just purely the sucking was to get the excess paint out. I wasn't trying to like make miracles.
Now that I'm thinking about it, you really only have carpet on your stairs, right? Do you have carpet downstairs? It's just on your stairs.
No, just on the stairs because we redid the bedrooms
Gotcha.
that had
Yeah.
the same
I just
carpet.
had a thought about it. I was like, where? You don't really have carpet anywhere else.
No, people don't like wood stairs apparently
Oh.
because people fall down them.
I do fall, but I'm gonna assure you right now, I would also fall down your carpet stairs.
Maybe it would be cushioned a little bit more though.
No, because I fell down my carpet stairs growing up and I broke my tailbone. So twice.
Oh,
Twice.
you've broken your tailbone though?
So I'm gonna tell you right now that it doesn't need to be carpeted or uncarpeted for my ass to fall down it. I fell down on black ice outside of my home downstairs the first time and broke it, and then I fell down after a really hefty night out of drinking in front of my boyfriend at the time down my basement stairs that are carpeted the second time and broke it again.
I'm going to just interrupt this to say, Macy, what you don't understand is that for a woman to have a broken tailbone in the 2005 to 2010 era is very common usually from alcohol and stairs.
So this was a common thing during this time period. Why?
I don't know. I have at least 2 friends who have had a broken tailbone.
I just feel like our generation we just really were hard on our bodies and our lives and just drank a lot.
How hard do you have to fall? And like, in which angle do you have to fall in order to break your tailbone?
Well, the first time it was Black Ice's fault. And you don't see it. So I walked outside going to work and my arms were all carrying stuff. So I wasn't able to really, not that I think holding myself would have made anything better. I honestly also thought I broke my wrist because I tried to fall back. And I honestly thought I broke my wrist. I really wasn't concerned about my tailbone. And I came inside the house. Brittany was actually in my basement at the time sleeping. And she heard me crying. And I walked in thinking I was holding my wrist. I thought I broke my wrist. And then within the minutes of sitting down, my whole back had swelled up. And I couldn't go to work. Clearly, I'm a hairstylist. I couldn't stand. I thought I broke my wrist. I had to go to the emergency room. They checked me out. I only sprained my wrist. But they were so concerned about how swollen my back had gotten so fast that they were like, we think you did some serious damage to your back. So they did an x-ray. I have an x-ray of my broken tailbone. And it's actually a really cool x-ray for how they x-ray your butt with your tail.
Do you have to sit on top of a machine or
No, you lay, which is very uncomfortable when you're in that much pain. But and I mean, there's at that point, there's really nothing you can be done for.
Yeah, I was gonna say
so
it's a bone that they wrap your arm and your legs when shit happened, but they can't wrap your internal area.
I have officially broken every bone in your body, as Nora was talking about, circling back. That they can do nothing for. My nose, your tailbone, all of my toes, almost all my fingers from softball. And most of them can either just be reset and then you're done or nothing. They're just really bye.
That's a pain in the ass. Honestly, I think I'd prefer to break something that they can fix.
I mean, I am a pain in the ass. Yeah. My body is a pain in the ass. 100%. It is the worst pain. If I sit on bleachers for too long, it still hurts. We're talking 20 years later.
And you said you broke it twice too, so it probably just made it even more sensitive.
100%.
Also, now you're dealing with arthritis inside of those broken bones.
Alysia was just demonstrating today how she gets out of bed, and she's like, I literally need somebody to stretch all my muscles and my ligaments when I wake up, and I was like, you literally just need a hospice nurse.
Macy just went straight for death. I didn't mean to. I just needed somebody to come take care of me, and Macy just went for just die already.
I don't know. I wasn't that was what I was trying to insinuate, but when you put it that way, I guess.
I was thinking more of a very hot physical therapist stretching you out.
You need what dentist man looks like in the form of a stretching nurse for you.
I need somebody who's good looking because it's a wake up. So, I don't want somebody like not aesthetically pleasing to like gracefully coddle me in the morning and wake me up very quietly and then stretch me.
Let me tell you something that I used to hate on my husband for, and now I live for going to bed. My heating pad that's the size of my upper body.
Well, the one that I bought your husband for Christmas a few years back.
That one already died because he uses them every single night, all night. And now so do I.
Oh, okay. But I am gonna tell you that was one of the best gifts I could have ever gotten Bill. Was like it was both a heating and a massager in one, and it was like the length of our whole body.
Wait, it's that big? What? Wait. First of all, how much is this? And second of all, where can I get it?
It's like your torso length. It was like a torso length.
Okay, when I thought you said full body, I thought you meant like head to toe.
It was like torso length, full torso length. They were called extra extra large from Sharper Image. They had a 2-for-1 sale. It was an infomercial. I got sucked in and I said, you know who needs this? Me and Bill. So I'm about to get my brother Bill a nice Christmas gift that he will definitely be using. And I'm about to get us a 2-for-1. By the way, I'm also on my second one from that company because my first one, like, I mean, you use them. You go through them, but they're great.
That's my favorite thing. But also, now I'm thinking of like since we're talking about this, your client who has the heated vest. And I'm like, man, you know what? That would be really nice for like long drives in the car. You need like a heated vest for your back.
When she walked in with that, she took off her jacket. She didn't take off her vest, which is very normal. People like I have vests. I live in vests. I love a good vest. But she was sitting on the couch with a vest. It was great. And I said, oh, Macy's going to wash you next. You want to take your vest off? She goes, yeah, I was just holding on to it. It's heated. I said, I'm sorry, what? Mind blown.
I interrupted my client to whip around.
My client I had in the chair was like, excuse me, I'm going to need the name of this heated vest. And she took a picture of it. And then we had a whole conversation about the heated vest. Amazing. She goes, oh, it's great. You can click up how hot you want it, how not hot you want it. I said, I legitimately need a heated vest.
This client was a hoot. She's one of those clients, I feel like that, you have like your favorite clients, like your everyday clients that come in and you're like, you enjoy your time with them, but like they're not like the client. And I feel like she's kind of one that's kind of blended in the background. And this time around, I really was vibing with her. Like, even like some of the comments that she was saying, I was like, you're so funny. Like, I don't know. I think it's very fun when one of like kind of just a chill everyday client comes in and they like shock you with a good story.
Oh yeah, she's a very undercover, like I really enjoy her. She has followed me from place to place to place. Like, and then when we moved from Jonathan Kane, she had a panic because she couldn't find me. So I really like her. However, she is somebody who's a little sporadic in their visits, which love for her for that. Because not everyone is on the every 4, 6, 8 week journey. Some of my guests are lived a little bit more of the natural life and come in as the wind blows, when it feels right, when it's like, they do like their 2 times a year haircuts. And so I think she falls a little bit more into that category. So we don't see her as frequent. But I feel like she does make some pretty good impacts. Like she was feeling spicy this last time and I really loved it. She was funny. We were having a conversation because we have been selling some new merch in the salon, some cute cups. I don't know if we've talked about it yet. Shout out to Cousin Paige for hooking us up. They are color changing and they're really cute for like iced coffees, iced beverages, all of the above. And so clients have been sending us a lot of shout outs when they've been using them, which has been fabulous. And we were talking about how I'm obsessed with them. And another client was asking, oh, do you love them? Have you been using them? And I was drinking out of like the same cup. And I said, yes, they're great. And somebody else said, oh my God, I love them. And I said, my husband thinks I need like a coffee cup, like I need a hole in the head. And he says I need to get rid of one every time I bring one in. She said, yeah, that's why I got rid of my husband. And I was so thrown back, but I also said, amen. Like, yeah, I love that.
Mic drop.
Yeah, I definitely never knew that piece of information. Not that I know them intimately, but I like knew that they had a relationship. Didn't know they didn't have a relationship.
Yeah, I mean, they have like older children together, and I'm pretty sure they've been together for quite a while. So I was really thrown back because I felt like that was how I found out she was divorced at the same time as finding out that like I was like, girl, do you?
But also, like, she casually, like, wove it into the conversation, which I also really appreciate that.
She's funny like that though, like in a way where like is a lot like me, where she says things like they're like kind of a little bit more like in a humor side of like
We love that for
telling people
her.
information.
And you know what? Maybe she's feeling like in her powerful era. Like, maybe he was doing some things that were making her feel like she can have her own space. And so, respect.
I loved that. I loved that whole comment. I loved that whole like rundown, and I loved the way we found out the information. And also, I love that we have a space where people are comfortable because we have made them feel comfortable to give fun information like that. Personal, not personal, fun, quippy information like that. I love it. I love that that's the environment that we have created. Because, like Nora was saying, we all were here for that. It is a very big environment in our salon that is, you're here, everyone is here. We're all in it together. We're all
And
in it
the
together.
thing is, people feel drawn to our environment. They really feel like they need to be a part of it, which we love that.
Well, I mean, I overheard, oh, Sheer Daddy was in again the other day, and I overheard him talking to a client about how he says he likes to stay here for a few extra minutes because he just likes hanging out here.
I think a few extra minutes is actually like an extra like hour because every time that he's here for like, he's like, oh, I'm gonna be real quick. And then it's like 2 hours later, and you're like, oh, this is your quick.
He like posts up on the couch. He was just like hanging.
Well, to be honest, he really doesn't have much else to do besides sell us shears.
Anywho, I did overhear him saying that, and I thought, I love that. Do you want to leave us a review?
I think that he also like really likes being in here. It's not just like, oh, he likes us. Like he likes being in here and seeing all the different interactions with people because we like I have had some shit going on when he's been in here.
Oh yeah, and that's what we're saying. It's the environment.
Yeah.
It's not just the fact that we have amazing personalities. I mean,
Mhm.
obviously we do, but it's also the fact that like it's chill, but like there's a bunch of banter going on. Everybody kind of feels free at any point to just join in and like add your like little take on it or your little comment. And I think that is really the driving force here is that you just feel part of the family and we could have known you for 2 seconds.
It's when like the energies come in here that don't vibe with that, but they think that they want to be a part of it because they think like we're a hair salon, like we're just being a regular hair salon. And we're not just a regular hair salon, especially because Macy has a very specific job that she does. And me and Alysia are behind the chair when we're here, and we're barely like getting our jobs done as business owners.
This is absolutely no hate to clients at all, but I think because, people come in, they see what goes on, but they don't see like, what we're doing in the back all the time. And a big thing I think is where people are like, well, why doesn't Macy just do that? Well, why doesn't Nora just do that? Where it's like, we're doing our things. We are doing our things, so we can't always be present, especially for people to, just walk in at points. Which is a really difficult thing that we've been dealing with in the past week.
We didn't deal with it frequently during the pandemic like we did because people wanted to get in and they wanted to get their hair done and they didn't have a hair salon. But then we started putting up signs as was comfortable for our clients as well, not just having randos come in here. And then we just discovered that like, hey, that's actually kind of our vibe of not having randos come in here because we don't have somebody to facilitate a communication with them. Like we're lacking that person whose job is actually to communicate with people that are not familiar with the way stuff goes on in the salon because it's us. It's all of us. And like our energies are meant for the people who actually come in here and sit in our chairs. And not that we don't want a new person to come and sit in our chair, but like they have to be able to communicate with us and to book with us in the way that we have chosen that to be for us.
Absolutely. And the thing is, a lot of people also might not realize is that it's just literally the three of us. Like, we are the ones that are together on a daily basis. There's not somebody else behind the scenes, like answering the phones and taking appointments. Like, it's all stuff that we're doing. And especially, you guys have a very good system now where, like, it makes it so much easier to book, where we don't need another person to be solely in charge of that. And it works for a majority of our clients, and then other times some people don't really understand that that's kind of the way that goes on here and what works for you guys and for us.
Well, I was working the other day behind the chair, and my phone goes off. I know this because I have an Apple Watch, and your calls come up on your phone. And it's a local number, but I don't have it stored in my contacts. So I think I'll get to it when I'm not applying hair color. And it goes off again and then again. And I start to get a little nervous because, I have pets in the area and I have a dog walker, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, did my dogs get out, or did somebody die? You start to really your brain starts to like really start to like go with like the 90 million things that this could be. It's a local number, it keeps popping up, Homewood, blah blah blah, and I'm thinking, oh my, did something happen? But they're not leaving a message, but they just are calling on repeat, and I'm thinking, oh, something's going on. But I'm like busy in my service and I can't just like walk away. Typically, I try not to. You're with your guest, you're providing them a service, and I'm thinking I'll get to them when I can get to them. Macy has her headphones on in the back. She's doing a podcast. So pretty much grabbing her is a little bit harder because she can't really hear. So I wait.
Also, our guests know when, like, we have such a personal relationship with them that we can say, hey, I just want to let you know ahead of time, I'm having this thing go on. So if I have to stop and answer my phone, this is why. Like, we have a full communication with them about that.
Yeah, I mean, I've had to step away and be like, oh my gosh, Luke's calling me. He never calls me. Hold on 1 second. And, so I was a little nervous, but at the same time, I was like, this is weird. I don't know what's going on. Let me I'll check it out when I'm done doing what I'm doing. I had a little break right after I was done applying their color. So I go to the back afterwards. Macy's still in the back doing her podcasting, which is what we're listening to right now. And, I then go, man, this person called. It was like something like 7 or 8 times. And they left 2 messages. The first one is one of those ones where it was like a -10, where it like hung up or wasn't like doing whatever it was supposed to do. And then the second one was a voicemail where, I honestly, I feel like we should listen to it, but we're not going to because I feel like I really shouldn't be doing that on podcasts, but maybe we should. It was a landline, and you can tell that they were older and that they were struggling to leave a voicemail. Wow. Tune in. We have the voicemail.
Trying to get some information on your prices and what you do. Is Nora there? I can be reached at. Thank you. Bye-bye.
No, this applies.
So, that voicemail happens. And I'm like, wait, does she think I'm Nora? Did she think somebody picked up the phone? So I immediately send it to Nora and I say, oh, this person's looking for you. But also, like, I never heard of them. We don't know of them, blah, blah, blah. Good luck. And Nora is like a little nervous, as she should be. And I'm also concerned as to why she repeatedly called me, like just over and over and over again before leaving the voicemail. So I was a little concerned. Like felt a little concerning to begin with, like the start. We didn't feel like we're starting off on a strong suit, like strong foot. I don't know where this is going to go. So I send all the information over to Nora and I think, okay, wash my hands of this. Then I go, hopefully, who knows what will happen with this? We'll see Claire. We won't see Claire. I don't know. a lot of times newer guests don't really understand how our salon works. So they do get a little flustered and they do not understand that we book online exclusively and we do need to hold a credit card and we do, we need a lot of things from people. And sometimes if they are of a certain generation, that scares them, or they don't have the means with which to book in that like capacity or that way. So I think that Nora then figured out like that she was going to contact her. But I don't even think she allowed us like a day. Like I think she immediately.
It was less than 24 hours, guys. Like I think she called around the nighttime of the day before and she came in. She didn't give us a day.
No.
Like it was probably like 12 hours. It was like 12 hours in between her like blowing up your phone and then her making a guest appearance.
Me and Macy are in the back eating lunch, and I think my next client's coming in because I had a minute for my lunch before my next guest, and Nora's out here working on her guest, and I hear the door open, so I think it's my guest. So Macy gets up to check, and she goes, "It's not your guest, but it's an older woman." And I hear her voice start talking, and when you recognize somebody's voice immediately?
Yes. And you're like your brain like zooms to that file where the voice is kept and you know exactly who it
Yes.
is.
That's what happened to me in the back. And I literally snapped my neck and turned to Macy and I said, "I'm pretty sure it's the woman from the voicemail yesterday." And Macy was like, "No." And I said, "Yes."
I was intrigued at this point, and obviously I'm supposed to, great guests and everything, but it was it was just erratic and confusing and disturbing from the very start. Like I'm pretty sure at one point I was like, "Alicia, I can't deal with this. I'm coming to sit back here. I don't even know how to handle the situation."
It was like many minutes. So she stands by the door, our door, like kind of blocks the doorway and just starts belting questions at Nora.
Nora is also in the middle of a service. Like at this point, like she is full blown, hands in another woman's hair. And so this is why I think it's even more concerning, where it's like, fair enough, we have free time, us talking to a guest, but no, Nora is in the middle of a service, like not even close to being done. She is in the service.
So I'm doing like a partial foil on my guest. And let me just say that I had to take it to a full foil on my dime because Claire would not stop asking the questions, even though I had a very rehearsed, which I think we have now, we have a very rehearsed line of how we do things. It's not a rehearsed line, it's just how we do things, and now we're confident about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just what you tell every guest. If you want to book, this is how we book. We'll send you the link through our email. And once you get that email, then you pick the stylist who's available, who you have a preference for right now. You and Daniel are taking new clients. So that's what you do. You send them the two booking links. They could choose whoever they want if they have a preference and they find what they want. Once they find what they want, it'll show you the dates that are available and you book it.
It is unbelievably clear that when me and Alysia are working on a guest, that we're working on a guest, because the guest literally stops and just stares at the person who's soliciting in the door. And like, there's no secret that you are disrupting a service. And that is why we do things the way we do things, so that we can continue like having a great experience here with our guests. So like, she is not getting that at all and just continuing on. And like, I couldn't have made it more clear. Macy had to end up leaving and going back to her job.
Yeah, so I came out, I think, initially, and that's when she started asking the initial questions. And then once all the pummeling of the questions came was once I went back to the desk. But it was more like the basic things that she was asking me is that she would like to make an appointment today. And I was like, well, like we can give you the booking links, like if you'd like to give us your email, like, or I think we gave her your card. So like it had your personal number on there, which is for emergencies only, guys.
Giant mistake.
I mean, yeah, it's one of those things in like retrospect where most people know boundaries, where like they won't be doing that, especially if you say this is my preferred form of contact. The only time that you should be contacting me through the personal number is like an actual emergency. Um, so she asked all these questions, and then she just kept repeating the same questions where I was like, I don't, and Nora at this point is also like helping me with the answering the questions because a lot of them I was like, I don't even know how to answer this. And so at this point, Nora's in full blood conversation with her. I'm like, I gotta get back to editing because last week we were on a very close editing deadline, and I was like, peace. And this conversation continues for like another 20 minutes after I leave.
It was overwhelming for me and the guest and the other guest who was in here. And so it finally ended. She gets the email, the information. Cut to she can't figure out the email.
Okay, so at this point, she finally, thank goodness, leaves the salon. And so my job as an assistant is to like, email people back and give them the links. I have the same booking links that I send to everyone, so I just find the links in a past email, copy and paste it into the email that I'm sending them. And so I was like, Claire emailed us. And also it's funny because her name on her email was easygoing. And I'm like, well, that's not exactly how I describe you, but you know what? Peace be with you. So she emails us saying like, hi Nora, I'm looking for the way to book with you guys, but I can't find your website. We never said that we had a website. We said we had booking links. But you know what, Claire? I got you, babe. I'm gonna email you the booking links. So I believe it was the next day because I was like boundaries. So I was like the next day, like first thing the next day, I emailed her the booking links. And she immediately comes back and says that she does not know how, like what she needs to book, saying exactly what she needs to book, which is on Nora's books, by the way. Like she definitely looked at it and said, screw this. I'm gonna make them book an appointment for me so I don't have to do this like technology shit. And then told me that her availability, she's trying to get in within like the next day or so.
The whole thing is like we now do this, especially like this, because like you fill out your own profile. It's actually really nice. You fill out your own profile, not somebody fills it out for you. And then you always have that so that you can go and continue booking on there, moving appointments, whatever. And so this happens. Then I'm getting 2 phone calls to my personal cell phone with like a 5-minute long message equal to your message on your phone. And I just kind of like let it ride. The links have been sent. Macy responds with exactly what she would book while looking at the booking site from my other POS. And all the information is laid out.
I hit send for the message. I think it's like, this is very early in the day. I hit send in the message. It's literally less than like 3 minutes later, where all of a sudden I'm in the back and Nora's like,
because one client was leaving and another client was coming in. And I see this car driving down the one way. And I said, oh my God, I think that's Claire.
and at first, I was like, okay, like Nora's just like, overthinking a little bit. Maybe she's a little paranoid. First of all, you got a knack for picking out people. That's for sure. Obviously, you guys have been doing it for forever, but she is pulling in so slow to the parking lot. Like it's definitely an elderly. Like when I tell you she's going down the one way like turtle speed, and then she pulls into the parking lot at turtle speed. She takes another like 5 minutes to walk in. In this time that she's taken to get inside, we should have turned the lights off and locked the door, but we didn't. In hindsight, we should have done that. Did we even think of all the options that we had? Did we even think of doing that? No. Nan, you guys know our client Nan, and this time she is like giggling and kicking her feet. Like she is so excited to see this interaction. She's like, my life sucks. I need to see something good right now.
I'll stay. I'll sit down on the couch and watch this.
Well, because much like it, our days unfold like a Latina soap
A
opera
novela.
where you kind of don't know what's going on. Yeah. So you need to turn on like the subtitles at the bottom to see what's actually happening because you might not know all of the pieces or all the players. So that's why I say it might be in like a different language. That's why I'm not trying to be rude. It's just kind of like no one really knows what's happening at any given moment. So that's why it feels like that.
And
Like,
so the thing that we came up with, the best thing that we could think of in those like few minutes was that Nora should go to the back, and for some reason I should be the one handling the situation. I should be
we decided against it
I
very
should be standing
quickly.
my ground. But I mean, that's kind of what happened though. Nora comes out while I'm like, "Hi, like, can I help you?" She's kind of mumbling weirdly at first and then talking about if she wants to book an appointment. And I was like, "Oh yeah, like you're the one that I was emailing with. I emailed you the exact way, like how to book it." And then she's like, "Well, I can't just book it right now." And that was the big thing with like this entire several interactions is that she wanted to book in person with us and have us book it for her. While that is not how we work, it's you personally do your profile and then you book.
Also, I literally was just running from client to client that day, and I knew I had a very busy day. And I also knew that my client in my chair had something going on that she needed to be on time for. So I was like, this is good. I'm going to just say, sorry, I can't help you right now. I got to run. But she was not taking no for, and she also was like, not listening to not one thing Macy said to her.
She was asking me like how to book it. I not only emailed her, but then I then re-explained how to book online. And then she starts mentioning the fact that the same thing that she mentioned in the email the first night that before I sent her the booking links, that she tried to find a website online and do we not have a website? And I said, no, we don't have a website, but each person has individual booking links. You know, this is the way that works best for us. The same phrase that Nora has told her 50,000 times and the same statement that I've told her as well. And then she starts asking, you know, she's trying to book a week in advance. Of course, Nora doesn't have availability for that. She's a busy girl. And so Nora tells her when she's going to book. And then she's like, well, Daniel. And then she's like, well, what are Daniel's prices? Are they different than your prices? And obviously Nora's like, yes, they're different than my prices. Everybody, you know, prices things differently. And then she was like, well, what determines those prices? And then Nora was like, at this point, she's like, I'm sorry, Claire, I can't help you. I have to go into the back and mix. And then so you walk away. And then she goes, well, perhaps you can help me with answering these questions. And I said, I was at a loss for words. I was like, I really can't help you. I don't really work with Daniel anyways, and also I can't determine how he figures out his prices, you know, the same way like a restaurant is. Like you don't go to a restaurant and ask them why their prices are more expensive than the restaurant down the street. It's just not really something that you do, you know. So yeah, so then that happens, and then she continues asking questions for another like 20 minutes.
It was exhausting. And at this point now, we've had multiple clients involved in this interaction with this person. And it's not like this is a new incident. Like, it's kind of like a tale as old as time, where we know that this person is not healthy for the salon or for us. Because if this is how the first interactions are, that's how it's going to continue on. That's the pattern it's going to be on. So I did dismiss her, and I will use that. Like, I dismissed her multiple times. I tried to send her to local other salons that have more of a concierge-based service that she might require, and that is great for her. She deserves to have a place like that. It's not here.
She needs a space where she can talk to someone for as long as she needs at a front desk. She needs a front desk. She needs a receptionist. She needs a home-based phone call. She needs a website. She needs all of these things that make her feel comfortable, that she can ask repetitive questions over and over and over again and feel secure in her answers and her like service provider. That's wonderful. That's great. I hope she finds that. I also think there's a little bit of mental clarity issues going on there, 100%. And I really do feel for that. I 100% do. But we don't have the capability to deal with that or handle that. And we don't have the time and the resources to cater to that. We are a very small boutique salon, and what we have been doing for us for a long time works. And we have kind of found our niche, and it really just works for us and all the people that work for us and our clientele. And every once in a while we get a person that pops in that thinks that that will work for them, and we realize pretty quickly that it's going to be very disruptive to the flow of this entire ecosystem, shall we say. And we just for the health and the environment that we have created, and we worked really hard to create that, we have to take into consideration that for all of us, like for the boundaries and for all. It's you see, I hate to throw this word around, safe, but like a safe space. You want to come in here and feel comfortable, feel safe, be able to tell funny, cute stories, feel like everyone's involved, feel like you come, it's like Cheers, everyone knows your name. Do you know what I mean? You want to come in here and feel like it's like one big giant family. It's a local establishment. We all love you. You are loved and you feel comfortable. Well, what happens when something, and I'm not saying that this escalated to unsafe, but what starts to happen is when you come in and things are erratic, things are thrown off, things become different, things like that happen, and we are now catering to somebody else who isn't even getting serviced, but is like disrupting. It's a very like,
It's 100% disrupting the environment. Like not even like
yeah.
it's unsafe, but it's also like people come in and they have a very clear like understanding of kind of what the experience is going to be. Maybe they're having a bad day and they come in and this is their time to like vent and to take a load off and to do exactly what we're doing here. We're relaxing, you know, like obviously we're servicing them, but they're the ones that are relaxing. And when that comes in, it kind of disrupts the vibe. And I mean, even when it first happened to Nora, even her client was shook by it. She expressed to us that she felt very uncomfortable with it. And that is when you know that it's a disruption to the environment, is when the client who is there and paying for the service actually feels it. Not only we feel it, but then they say something about it.
That just doesn't work for us. And we have been in the industry, me and Nora, long enough, and Daniel as well. I will speak for him for like a quick moment. We have all been in this environment for long enough, and we knew going into this space and what we were trying to cultivate as a team is that that's not what we were looking for. And sadly, that's when you have to break up with someone. We might have just met you and it might have only been 48 hours, but that 48 hours was a wild fucking ride, man. And that's a roller coaster that we all wanted off. We wish you the best, but we're good. Like, we hope you find your home, because everyone deserves a salon home and everyone deserves to find a great space that works for them. But not every fit is going to be a fit, and we just aren't that fit for that person. And we are working on boundaries this year also, and we are trying to be better about nipping it in the butt immediately instead of drawing it out and being like, let's let her try it out for a minute, and then it actually being worse in the long run, having to be like, actually, this just isn't the space and environment to thrive.
Yes. And I did not wait a very long period from our interaction to shut it down and give her some nice recommendations, because there's always a salon like for you in the neighborhood, for sure. So I think that that's not going to be our last interaction like that. I also think that like we have funny interactions where clients really feel like they get overly involved in people's lives here, and they are really like passionate about it when they do, because like they might say some stuff that they want to take back. And one of our gemstones.
Recently, everyone, it's called Macy's Dating Life Game. And what has happened is everyone has become very invested in Macy's Dating Life.
We're in the game of life. Yeah. Yeah, I mean there's especially that one week too. So like we're rewinding back a little bit, but everybody wants to know, I have a boyfriend, so right now they all kind of know that I'm in a relationship, or at least they find out, and then I tell them about it, and I get bamboozled with questions, and I do love it because it feels like people care, and I think when people ask questions, it shows that they care. But then sometimes people ask questions and they might feel like they overstepped, or that a boundary was crossed in a way. And so one of Alicia's clients, Alicia, describe this client of yours, please.
Oh my God, I love this client. Let me tell you about her. I inherited her from another hairstylist. She was not originally my client, which that happens. That happens a lot where you are gifted a few clients here and there when people leave, when people move, when people go on maternity leave. All sorts of things happen. And this was a client that I was gifted from another stylist when she left. And we vibed. We vibe. I love her.
Well, let me tell you, like the one little in that I have over Alysia, like she is the queen of hair. I've been doing hair for a million years. But I got to be a front desk person and a personal assistant and a salon assistant. So I got to also know these people, like every single one of everybody's clients. So I got a little taste of her, of what she's given a Macy, like back in my day when I was the Macy.
But yeah, this was not a bad experience. And if anything, I never really thought much about it. I mean, we did comment on it and be like, oh, that was like funny. Like, so she'd come in for her, how long did she come in? Like every 4 weeks. Okay, she comes in. So, every 4 weeks you get like an update with her. And so this time around, we got on the topic of like dating and the fact that I'm in a relationship. And so she starts asking me all these like questions. I mean, yes, they're personal questions, but personal questions and questions here are kind of like synonymous. So she starts asking me, does he have a job? Is he a good boy? That was
She was like drilling. There weren't just like questions. She was like doing the mom drilling. She was
She
momming.
was. She was like mama bearing me. She was mama bearing me. She cared. She wanted to make sure that like my boyfriend is a stand-up guy. Like she wanted to make sure that he's good for me and that like he deserves me.
And anyone won't do for Macy. So she wanted to make sure that this person was the correct person for Macy.
Yes, she wanted to make sure that like this guy was a 10 out of 10. And so obviously like she's asking me these questions. I don't feel like any sort of weight towards answering them, so I answer them. But she was digging, and honestly, pretty much our entire interaction was like her digging. Like she wanted to know where he goes to school, does he have a job, where does he work, why does he not have a big boy job? Did he go for his master's? How long did he go for his master's? Where did he go to school? Is he a good boy? Does he treat you right? What does he do for you? And like it kind of like in the way where it's like she asked a lot of questions and she asked it like pretty frequently. Like it was in that sense.
She was on the brink of asking like what his blood type was, where his address is, and where can I find him? So like
Pretty sure she did ask me where he lived too, which is honestly like ironically enough, like you think that it's kind of a personal question, but like ironically enough, everybody's like, so where is he from?
they need to know if he's local. They need to know if he's a local boy or not.
Yes. And I respect it. I respect the hustle. We all had a little hoot about it later, her being so like passionate about her feelings towards me having a significant other. We all laughed about it, and then I kind of moved on with my life, and I was like, oh, like whatever. I went on vacation to Jamaica, and I never really thought much about it after like that, initial day. And then I come back, and I've been back. Was it last week?
Well, let me fill you in. She did bring you a Christmas gift, but the Christmas gift was a baked good. So the baked good went bad, and we had to give it to
I
Bella.
didn't know that, but that's really
So, and
sweet.
during that one, she then asked for you because she wanted to apologize then, because she was thinking about it then, and she was really torn up about how much she had asked about it then. So she brought you a baked Christmas gift good then, wanted to apologize then, couldn't because you were gone. So now this has been eating at this woman for like what, 2 months?
I just can't, like, for me personally, I was like, she came in and, like, she was immediately like, Macy, I have to apologize to you. And I was like, First of all, I was like, whoa, because I'm not really used to people like immediately like coming in the door and I'm like, you had it. She clearly had this on her heart. Like this was weighing on her. Like she probably, I don't know if she's a woman of God, but I feel like if she goes to church, like she probably like confessed this like at church because like she was feeling that bad about it. And so she comes in and she's gonna be like, Macy, I have to apologize to you. And I was like, oh, what? And I'm like, I'm scared. I was like, I don't know what's going on. And she's like, I just feel like last time I was with you, I really overstepped and I'm just so sorry about asking all those questions, about like your boyfriend. I feel like I just really crossed the boundary and I just need to apologize. And I was like, oh my goodness. First of all, I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about at first, but then I remembered, obviously, like when she started elaborating, and I was like, well, thank you. I was like, that's really sweet. And I felt like inclined, like I'm a touchy person, so I was like, let me give you a hug. Like I just wanted to console her because I was like, I mean, yes, she asked a lot of questions, but like would I say go as far to like the point that I felt uncomfortable and I felt like she needed to apologize? No. But I just can't believe that was weighing on her mind for so long.
Then cut to 20 minutes later where Bonnie thinks she overhears us talking crap about Macy, like, um,
It's like, did you really learn your lesson?
yes. And then she goes, wait, what? Did they break up? Are they not together anymore? I need to hear. Alysia, did I apologize for the wrong thing? Are they no longer together? Yeah, and then she freaked out again. And then she goes, did they break up? Oh my God, Alysia, did they break up? Tell me they didn't break up. Oh. And then we're like, no, Bonnie. And then she was like, oh, this is a lot for me.
Well, because she also asked me like how it was going, like, you know, just like a quick little thing before, and then she's like, did Macy lie to me? And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, shorty, like, first of all,
She's like, I'm not a goss and I'm not going to ask you more questions, but I need to know more questions.
She's been through a lot, and I feel like she's still being very like zesty,
They're sweet and they're cute and I love them and I just love them. They're great. And I aspire to be like a lot of them.
Our clients are just the best, and they always will be the best, especially with that energy.
Well, on that note, I think we should.
we're book lovers, guys. I mean, we've talked about it in previous episodes that especially me and Alicia love books, and we especially love some romance drama books.
Well, I have seen on some social sites that this book was coming about. And so when I saw it in the salon on Daniel's station, I was not surprised. And after staring at the cover, I see this guy. He's got wavy hair. It's dark. So not Daniel, but
But he has shears in his hands. As soon as I saw shears, I said, Daniel.
exactly. And it's called Boys Town Heartbreakers. And this I recognized as like he knows the author, right? Daniel knows the author of this book, so he's going to keep it here to advertise because he likes to support his people.
I mean, Daniel is the kind of person that we don't see him directly at work days because he's on the weekends and we're during the weekdays. But you'll always come back, especially during like the holiday times. He'll display like ornaments that his friends have made and like, you know, try to sell them. Things like that he advertises on his station so people can look at and, you know, get that publicity.
He's supporting small business. So this book is up here and we're giggling, what's this little book? And then we finally sit down to read the synopsis of it. And you tell me if this is inspired by our friend, because we would be very excited if it was. But also, like, obviously, it's a false representation.
Or shall we say loosely based upon?
So Chicago hairstylist Bastian Russo has only 3 things to his name: a pair of $1,200 shears. That hits a check mark for me. A Boys Town studio apartment, didn't he? I mean, he might have had an apartment over there. We're going to place him in the city. And a list of men's names written on his closet wall. Well, he adds his latest name, turns to his best friend for solace. I'm gonna just do like some like Cliff's notes. the best friend makes a suggestion. They should start dating. Now, I feel like I would see him dating any one of those attractive gentlemen that he's friends with from the city.
I mean, I would date all of them. Reverse harem style. Why choose?
This guy is successful, attractive. I see that in the group. Successful, attractive. Okay. From his mother to his coworkers, he thinks he's an idiot for not having dated this guy already. What could go wrong? Everything. So we're going through and cut to his inadequacy and trust issues to prove he is worthy of transitioning from being a best friend to a lover. Otherwise, it's a matter of time before one or both of them end up on Bastion's list of Boys Town heartbreakers.
Wait, that last part doesn't make much sense. One or both of them? Wait, wouldn't he has his list. So like how can he end up on his list?
Well, because he is the perpetuate heartbroken. He is the one who is continuously heartbroken.
Well, I'm excited for it. It does sound juicy. Well, on that note, we want each and every one of you to feel recognized in your week.
Don't let the door hit you or the good Lord split you.
See you later.
We did just figure out we can do UPS, so bye, bitch.
It's Nora, Alysia, and Macy.
We are a girly podcast and we are on the floor.
Did I go the wrong way?
You definitely did.